Deadly industrial accident at cross-border bridge site in Tunmun. New campaign to attract tourists. And the plot thickens in regional territorial disputes.
Good evening. A crane operator has been killed in an industrial accident at a construction site of the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge. The tragedy in Tunmun has sparked calls for the government to step up monitoring of the mega infrastructure project. Tragedy struck at around 8 this morning, involving the 62-year-old crane operator. Reports say the crane's suspended hook, followed by its steel cable, suddenly came crashing down through the crane cabin where the operator was sitting. Police and paramedics rushed to the scene and pronounced the man dead. Grieving family and friends arrived at the site to try and find out what had happened. Labour Department officials were also there to investigate. Work is being carried out at the construction site on Ho Yong Street in Tuen Mun to build a connecting section between Tuen Mun and Chek Lap Kok as part of the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge project. Chow Lun Kiu, chairman of the Hong Kong Construction Industry Employees General Union, said the crane operator had completed construction work when he was struck. Chow said it's possible there was a problem with the auto-lock on the machine. He said the cable wasn't broken and that it would usually be held in place by an auto-lock on the crane, which stops the cable from going up or down too quickly. The union said the victim had decades of experience with crane operation and was a shareholder of the crane company. The Association for the Rights of Industrial Accident Victims was at the scene as well to look into the case. With a number of deaths and serious injuries during construction in recent years, the association urged the Development Bureau and the Labour Department to step up monitoring at the site. Government officials had earlier voiced concern about the number of accidents and fatalities at the site of the multi-billion-dollar infrastructure project. But investigations have stopped short of linking the accidents to efforts to meet the bridge's completion date of late 2016.
Amid falling tourist numbers, the Tourism Board plans to launch new schemes to attract visitors. As Rani Samtani reports, coordination could be their key to success.
The long Easter break came to an end today. The Immigration Department expects hundreds of thousands of people to return to Hong Kong, but concerns about falling tourist numbers continue to grow. The yen and the euro have weakened recently, making Japan and Europe more attractive to visitors. As a result, Hong Kong has become relatively expensive and perhaps less competitive. Will this affect the spending power of tourists coming to the city?
No, it won't affect anything. Hong Kong is a beautiful city. People are beautiful. Money doesn't matter. If it's worth it, I'll pay. If it's not worth it, I won't pay.
This man from Taiwan said he used to spend more on his previous trips. He said a strong Hong Kong dollar is bound to affect tourists. Overall, tourist numbers fell by nearly 9% last month compared with a year ago. Concerned about the situation, the Hong Kong Tourism Board plans to introduce some initiatives over the summer holidays, including special concessions and promotion schemes to attract more tourists. The retail industry is expected to unveil a rewards program at the end of the month. A number of shops and restaurants accredited by the Quality Tourism Services will also be launching special offers. The catering industry is calling on the government to help coordinate promotional schemes. President of the Hong Kong Federation of Restaurants and Related Trades, Simon Wong, explained that because there are so many eateries offering different types of meals, it's difficult to set up cross-promotions. Rather than relying on one industry to provide discounts, he said the government should set up marketing campaigns across various sectors. And Hong Kong Disneyland said it's stepping up marketing and advertising strategies in nearby countries such as Thailand and the Philippines. Rani Samtani, TVB News.
The Tourism Commission is studying a proposal on the introduction of food trucks to the local dine-out scene. But the idea has raised hygiene and transportation questions that need to be addressed. More on that from Joao da Silva.
Mr. Zhang runs an open-air food stall or Dai Pai Dong and thinks introducing food trucks is a good idea. Zhang notes rents are too high these days and adds that if food trucks can be properly promoted, they could open up a good opportunity, one that he says he's looking forward to jump at. At an event today where the public enjoyed snacks from a food truck, Financial Secretary John Zhang, who raised the idea in his budget speech earlier this year, said the Tourism Commission has been invited to study the proposal. He admitted that there are transportation, health and hygiene issues that have to be looked at before the idea can be implemented. Zhang also expressed hope that depending on commercial viability, the food trucks could go beyond selling the usual fish balls and other common snacks to sell more traditional delicacies such as the sweet pudding cake, Pu Chai Ko. Unionist legislator Chan Yun-han supports the plan, but said its implementation is being delayed because of a lack of coordination by the government. Chan said she has discussed it with Chief Secretary for Administration Carrie Lam and pointed out that the introduction and licensing of food vans poses different issues that would involve different government departments. The problem, Chan added, is that so far these agencies do not seem to be willing to put in the extra work.
Aside from promoting his food van proposal, the Financial Secretary also said he wants to see spaces such as this one under a flyover in Causeway Bay taken over by economic and cultural activities. João da Silva, TVB News.
Investigations into a blast at a Fujian chemical plant revealed that it was caused by an oil leak. The explosion, which injured more than a dozen people, is the second to rock the facility in less than 2 years since it opened. The blaze was still raging early this morning. The blast happened just before 7 o'clock last night at a chemical plant in the Gulei Peninsula in the city of Zhangzhou. The fire was contained at noon today in 2 of the 3 20,000 cubic metre oil storage tanks that had been burning. After initial investigations, experts at the scene believe an oil leak had caught fire and caused nearby oil storage drums to explode. Hundreds of firefighters were at the scene, battling the blaze and helping to evacuate workers at the facility. The plant produces paraxylene, or PX, an industrial chemical used for making fiber and plastics, which is toxic and highly inflammable. At a media conference this morning, Zhang Yiteng, deputy mayor of Zhangzhou, said surrounding residents were evacuated in time and that no excessive pollutants were found in the water in villages nearby. Last night's explosion was so powerful, the China Earthquake Network Center recorded the tremor. Plumes of smoke billowed from the site. In homes as far as 4 kilometers away, ceilings were reported to have collapsed from the impact of the blast. Windows shattered in houses, leaving many people cut by the glass. A pungent smell engulfed the area, and people from 5 surrounding villages had to be evacuated. PX plants are highly controversial on the mainland, with strong public opposition against proposed plants in recent years. This is the second accident at the same facility, which was built in 2013 by Tenglong Aromatic. The owner of the company is Chen Youhao, who is wanted for economic crimes in Taiwan and is believed to have escaped to the mainland. Staying on the mainland, a former mayor of Nanjing has been jailed for 15 years for corruption. Ji Jianye is the latest senior official sentence in President Xi Jinping's anti-graft campaign. A court in the city of Yantai in Shandong province also seized millions of yuan in assets from Ji, who headed Nanjing between 2009 and 2013. The court found him guilty of accepting bribes, favors, and sweetheart deals from a number of businessmen.
Elsewhere in Asia, Japan has added references in its annual foreign policy report to deep remorse as the country reflects on the 70 years since World War II. But the report, known as the Diplomatic Blue Book, also says Tokyo is determined to protect its territorial sovereignty, seas and airspace, a move that's not going down well with its neighbours. James Aiken has more.
The report, which was presented to cabinet members this morning, says Japan has continued its path as a pacifist nation for 70 years, since the end of World War II, based on its deep remorse over the war. It also says Japan is determined to protect its territorial sovereignty, as well as its seas and airspace near the Japanese-administered Senkaku Islands. The islands are also claimed by Beijing, where they are known as Jiaoyu. The Blue Book also says that disputed islands between South Korea and Japan are Japanese territory due to historical facts and international law. The islets, known as Dokdo in Korea and Takeshimi in Japan, are surrounded by rich fishing grounds and are believed to lie near gas deposits. In Beijing, a foreign ministry spokeswoman made clear the Jiaoyu Islands belong to China. She called on Japan to adopt a reasonable attitude towards history. In Seoul, the South Korean Foreign Ministry summoned a Japanese embassy official in protest. A foreign ministry spokesman accused the Japanese government of using the document to repeat historical regression. The Blue Book was released a day after the Japanese Ministry of Education approved revisions to 18 school textbooks to describe the islands as Japanese. The report also altered its description of Japan's relationship with South Korea and deleted a previous reference that stated the two nations share the same fundamental values. Japan's foreign minister said his country is aiming to construct a forward-looking, multi-layered relationship and stressed that South Korea is still Japan's most important neighbor. Senior foreign and defense officials from both countries will meet in Seoul next week to hold their first security dialogue in more than 5 years. James Aiken, TVB News.
And still to come in our news tonight. Job fears for pregnant foreign domestic helpers in Hong Kong. Growing concerns about Palestinian refugees in Syria camp. And hurdles king Liu Xiang calling it a career.
What does the future hold for Hong Kong's TV industry? Michael Chugani talks to TV veteran Selina Chow on Straight Talk tonight at 9 on Pearl.
I'm just kidding.
Castle!
A spectacular new castle.
I'm really good at this.
Full of savage swordplay, murderous monks,
Silent but deadly.
and treacherous traps.
It's a real-life Da Vinci Code.
Friday. Castle at 10:40 on Pearl.
The 26th Macau Arts Festival with the theme Encounter features over 100 performances and activities, including dance performances, theatrical plays, music concerts, and many other variety shows and exhibitions. Tickets are now available through the Macau Ticketing Network. Reserve your tickets now. Macau Arts Festival. This May, encounter art your way.
This is Planter 39 Phytocaffeine Shampoo. For some reason, it's especially popular with women over 40, with over 10 million bottles sold in Germany alone. To find out why, get down to Manning's. Quick! Planter 39 Phytocaffeine Shampoo. For the hair you really, really want.
I was born in 1990 and have grown up with the Basic Law. Over the past 25 years, I learnt about one country, two systems, and gained a better understanding of mainland Hong Kong relations. I witnessed our return to the motherland and the successful implementation of the Basic Law, which provides us with unique strengths. With the Basic Law, I believe Hong Kong will continue to be prosperous and stable, forging ahead towards a brighter future.
The time now is 7:43. The time check was brought to you by Seiko.
And welcome back to TVB News. We turn now to the second part of our series about foreign domestic helpers getting pregnant while they're in Hong Kong. For them, becoming mothers could mean losing their jobs. And as Owen Fung reports, some may get stuck here and become vulnerable as a result.
Options are limited for foreign domestic helpers who lose their jobs after becoming pregnant. Some may want to return to their home countries. Support from their families, however, may not be forthcoming. Anna was rejected by her family after giving birth to her son as the child was born out of wedlock.
Many of them they found difficult